Hi, Rebel Mom. If you're listening to this with toys on the floor, dishes in the sink, and a half dead brain, this one is for you. Today, I don't want to talk about the perfect love story. I wanted to talk about you. Yes, you. The woman behind the mother, the partner who always feels like she's raising a grown child, the heart that is tired of carrying the whole emotional load of the house. We are going to do a powerful exercise. We are going to design the relationship that you want and deserve as a woman, not just as a mother or a maid or a therapist, as a manager of everyone's feelings. So if you can right now, make a pause, grab a notebook or print that worksheet because today we are going to use the Rebel Mom Triad, which is you, the other, or your partner or the person you're calling, and the relationship itself, which is not meant to be another child. So you must be asking why this matters so much. Well, maybe your currently or your past relationship look like this. You're carrying 90% of the mental load. You are apologizing for being tired. You shrinking so no one gets uncomfortable. You are parenting your partner so you don't have just another problem. Or maybe you are single and terrified of repeating the same patterns, doing all alone while you're sharing the bed with someone who doesn't really show up. This is why we need this triad so that you don't disappear in the role of a good mother. And so your partner doesn't get promoted to the church tire. So today, let's look at the relationship you want, the person that belongs in their life with you, and the version of you that doesn't abandon herself to be loved. So let's start with the first pillar, the relationship, and what is not in a relationship. So I want you to answer as honestly as you can and stop this video at any time to think and answer. Okay? So first question is, what is a relationship for you today as a mother and as a woman? I'm not talking about the theory, but the reality. Is a relationship where is a place you disappear to keep a peace? Or maybe a partnership where life gets lighter, a battlefield of silence and resentment, or a place where you mother your partner. Hmm. So let's write a sentence starting with, for me, a relationship is. So let's pause. Right, you're back. Great. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. Question number two, why do you want to be in a relationship now, in this phase of your life? And please don't stop at, I don't want to be alone because my kid needs a father or a mother figure, because everyone in my age is in a relationship right now. No, I want you to ask yourself why. Why? Why I don't want to be alone? What is happening inside of me when I imagine being alone? Do I want a partner or do I want to help? Do I want to be loved or do I want to be rescued? And right, I want a relationship because. And keep asking yourself this why until the answers instinct a little bit. The truth lies. Okay? So here is the rebel mom truth bomb. Our relationship, it's not a rescue plan. It's not a reward for being a good girl. It's not a substitute parent. It's not a way to fix your loneliness of the child you once were. A healthy relationship enough for a rebel mom is a place where both adults show up, where the emotional and the mask load is shared, where you can be a woman, a mother, a human, and not just a service person. Well, it is time to talk about something obvious, the 90-10 in motherhood. What this means. The 90% of a real relationship is who is doing the pickup today. We need to talk about money. I'm overwhelmed. We need to redistribute the chores. We need a plan for sleep, meals, work, us. The 10% are date nights, laughing in the kitchen, cuddling in the couch without having your child climbing over you. The feeling of, okay, we are the same team. The thing is, if you expect the 10% to be your 100% of the time, here's the issue. Because you're going to start thinking, we are broken, we don't work, it must be me. So we need to shift this to a rebel mom mindset. We are not broken. We just need an adult partnership, not a fantasy. This is why knowing what relationship means to you is now a survival tool, not a romantic idea. With this in mind, let's understand our values and our boundaries for a rebel mom relationship. Okay? So I want you to answer this. What are your non negotiable values in a relationship as a mother and as a woman? But I want you to think beyond the nice and kind. Let's think about the emotional safety, the shared responsibilities, the honesty, respect for your time and your body, space for your mental health, care of your children that doesn't fall only on you, the willingness to learn and repair after a conflict. Okay? Write at least 10 values and let the motherhood inform your answers. I will wait. Okay, next, what will not carry anymore in a relationship? For example, being the only one who notices what needs to be done, explaining the basic empathy, begging for help, being gaslit when you say you are exhausted, tolerating yelling, name calling, or any other emotional punishment, being sexually pressured when your nervous system is fried. So write your rebel mom boundary list or your no more list. Now, let's talk who belongs in your life. The second pillar, the other. Not a perfect saint, because that doesn't exist, but also not another child. So, who is this person you want by your side, next to you, not on your back? So, ask yourself, how does this person show up in your daily life? Do they take responsibility for their own emotions and tasks? Do they see the child as ours or as your job? Do they understand that your body after pregnancy, birth, sleepless nights is not a vending machine for affection? Are they willing to talk, learn, apologize, and grow? After you answer these, let's go to the next question. What behaviors in a partner are now a firm no for you? So we are talking about someone who jokes about your overreaction when you are overwhelmed, someone who refuses to participate in the house or your kids' duties, someone who competes with your children for affection, someone who uses work or hobbies to disappear and leaves the emotional labor for you. Read concrete examples, okay? Your nervous system already knows what hurts. So let's put this into words. Now it's time for the most important pillar in this triad. The third pillar, you, the rebel mom, but also an uncomfortable part, and yes, the most liberating. Who do you need to become so you don't abandon yourself in these relationships anymore? Not a perfect mom, not a flawless partner, a woman who notice when she's slipping back into I carry everything all alone, sets boundaries before exploding, doesn't apologize for needing rest, space, or silence. Recognize when she's mothering her partner instead of partnering them. So, right, to live the relationship I want, I need to become a woman who, for example, says what she feels before she burns out. No longer explain basic respect more than 300 times. Stop rescue and starts inviting the other into responsibility. Allows herself pleasure, rest, and joy without any guilt. Now, here's a twist. Let's look at the rebel mirror. What things you demand from your partner are you willing to offer to yourself and to them? So, for example, if you want honesty, can you be honest with yourself about when you are at your limit? If you want a presence, can you be present with your own feelings, not just your child's? Respect. Can you stop disrespecting your own limits to keep everyone okay? This is not about blaming, it's about power. It's about self abandonment. It's an old script. Rebel moms are here to rewrite this story. Great. So, what we are going to do now is with all this information, look everything you wrote. What relationship means for you, the real why, your values, your rebel mom boundaries list, who belongs in your life, who you are becoming. If you are in a relationship, ask, does this person act like a partner or like an extra child? Is there willingness from both sides to grow? When I bring up hard conversations, do we repair or do we punish each other? Am I constantly walking on eggshells to keep the peace? And the most important and honest one. If my child grew up and lived in the same relationship I live today, would my heart feel at peace or worried? If you're not in a relationship, this triad is not to scare you. It's to protect you from repeating the same patterns, shrink yourself to be loved, accepting a health presence, just not to be alone. And here's your rebel filter. If someone doesn't respect this, they don't deserve the front row access to your life. And always remember, being a mom doesn't mean accepting emotional crumbs, carrying three people's feelings, calling survival normal life. A rebel mom relationship is not perfect. There are meltdowns, mess, zero nights of sleep, but there is also shared responsibilities, two adults in the same room, space for you to exist as more than a mommy, as a woman. So keep this triad close and look at it when you feel guilty for asking help. When you start wondering, am I asking for too much? You start feeling the exhaustion and say, this is what it is. No, the answer for all of this is you're not asking for too much. You're not willing to disappear anymore. Thank you very much for being here. Even though you're tired, even though you were interrupted 10,000 times, your rebellion is not against your family, it's against a system that taught you that you had to vanish to be loved. And no, you don't. Our relationship only changes when you stop abandoning yourself. See you on the next Rebel Mom session.